Hello and welcome to my analysis for Ruunin Open number 1. This is a series where I talk about my plays and things that I could have done better. I open it up to Twitch chat as well, and we just talk about this past tournament. So, as always, links will be posted down in the description for timestamps to jump ahead to each of my matches. Right now, I'm just going to talk briefly about my lineup. So I was kind of not considering participating in this tournament, but I decided last minute as I woke up in the morning, hey, I'm up, let's just go for it. So this is kind of a last minute lineup, but anyways, my Beastmaster list, as I've brought to a few tournaments in the past, just some moderate edits here, 2 Oaklings, 2 Deepwood Stalkers. I felt that the Deepwood Stalkers were doing work, but 3 I didn't need as much. I really liked these flex cards like Voice of Truth still, which they kind of panned out for me. Copter Control, I've been making some modifications to it, but I put in 2 destructive volleys, which worked very nicely in this tournament, as you'll see. I felt that destructive volley was just kind of nice for the meta and helps deal with some things that this list can't deal with so well. Krog Rush is just for the wooden cheeses list, FTW cheese or whatever, but I put in a Cypher and a Baldurian where he had 2 of the 7/7 ogres. And then my green-blue beasts, I'm pretty sure this is the same list that I brought last tournament, so I won't discuss that too much. But yeah, let's get into the matches. Alright, so I hope you're capturing my cursor. There we go. What a fancy new cursor, too. Alright, so this match was really exciting, actually. So I'm going to go through it a little bit. This one, yeah, against Stinky. So this first round is best of 3, which means we both only get to use 2 of our decks after the bans. So there's a little bit of extra strategizing here. I saw that he had a yellow list, which is pretty spooky with my lineup. I do have those destructive volleys for some yellow flyers, but if I run into like Choking Sand or something, I guess that's pretty bad on Krog. Beastmaster is pretty weak to yellow. Beast is like okay, but not the best. But then I saw this red-yellow list that's got a really cheap cost, 4 neutrals, so I knew that that was going to be a Husk list, and just from the past tournament, I just didn't want to face Husk at all, so I ended up banning that one. He banned my Krog Rush, so also there's a Carassius list here, which is pretty spooky, but my lineup has 2 lists that I felt were pretty reasonable against Carassius. Beast is pretty fast, so I felt like I could deal with Carassius. Those Husks. Yeah, Husk is just no thank you. This is probably a Husk. Well, I thought this might be a Husk list as well, but mono yellow Husk is a lot more manageable than this red yellow that just burns you to death and you can't do anything about it. So I'm starting with Beasts. He started with yellow. I thought that Beast is just a pretty generic good thing to start with. Oh, actually, one consideration I had to make here. So, because I can only use 2 decks, I have to plan out what the rest of this sort of round is going to look like. I see that he's got this green-yellow list, which is pretty cheap, so I'm imagining it's like Sacrifice with some really cheap bodies, and then Carassius as well. So there's 2 sort of swarmy lists that I'm predicting, so I want to keep my Copter Control open so that I have this as a backup to fight these ones. And then I just have to select my second deck, which Beastmaster, again, is pretty weak to yellow, so I didn't want to use this one. Beast has a chance, and Beast also has a chance against Carassius, so I led with Beast just to see what he was playing, and then I have my Copter Control as backup. So I think that's pretty important during best of 3 rounds. You have to kind of consider what the whole tournament's going to look like because you're not able to use one of your lists. So yeah, I got a Herald, and I think I keep the tower here, but I think this is a mistake. He's playing yellow, and against yellow, I just kind of want to swarm a little bit. So I'd rather more creatures than a sunken tower. Not opening Copter makes sense, yeah. Let's suck against... He wants Crassius against Beast. Yeah, true. Hey, Stinky! Hey! Wait to watch your matches. These were some of the funnest matches, I think, in the whole tournament. Just because of what happens at the end. So yeah, here I think that it's Flyers because he's played Flyers. I think that I should have pushed up one side instead of both. Well, I don't know, it's debatable. Like, against Flyers, they're really easy at removing your creatures, so setting up double collection is pretty nice. But, yeah. So he drops some more Flyers. Flyers is a spooky deck. New Year blue-red list. Oh, yeah. Yes, debatable. Oh, that was Lizard Sack list. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I played a couple games against Lizard Sack with that list, and I did it pretty well. Felt I lost when you beat Monstrosity. Yeah, having 2 Swarm decks to fall back on when I've got my Swarm counter it feels pretty awkward. I think Crassius was the right pick, though, in my opinion. Crassius is pretty strong even against swarm counters. Just if the draws line up nicely. You've never seen green blue? Yes. So right, I opened sides because I wanted a defensive position against Flyers, but I don't know. I feel like I should have just pushed down one side. But he drops the demon, which now makes me realize that this is Monstrosity. So I'm already feeling like I'm in a losing position because against Monstrosity you really have to push hard, and now he's got 2 things set up on both sides. It's going to be really difficult to deal with. So here there's not a lot of good options. I just kind of have to stay back. Like I could use the Sunken Tower to push up. I dropped the Beast in case he's got movement, and then I can at least still collect and value trade the Manta. 20 attack on board, this is fine. Didn't draw guide, but I'll just... Yeah. Also, so this movement was a bit interesting. It puts me in trade range of the 5/6. Which gives me a pretty nice humbling clear here. I mean, there's just so much swarm to deal with, it's gonna be pretty tough, but this gives me a bit of a free trade here. Hey, Elpaniko! Yeah, I think if the demon was like in this spot, just 1 up, it would have been out of range and still in range of my guy. New Faeria DLC including Purple Cursor. Yes. It's a brand new DLC with a new cursor. Yeah. So yeah, 1 back. I would have liked to see that. I'm just setting up some... So I set up this octopus on left side. In case of mobility and things, then I've got a collector to survive. But again, I feel like I should just be pressuring this right side if I want to win this. Because this... like, the longer this game goes on, the more of an advantage Stinky has, because he gets his monstrosities out and can OTK me. And there's one monstrosity. So I do have the Sunken Tower in hand, which will be a nice trick to potentially deal with this. It is out of range now, but... so I gotta somehow figure out how I'm gonna creep my way up towards that monstrosity. It's gonna be a little challenging. Top deck the Mystic Beast. A little bit awkward. I've already built all my lands now. And I don't have a Mystic Beast spot set up just yet. So what do I do here? Clear off the one guy that might be threatening my boar. Problem is, here he gets to step up and collect for free, and then I'm kind of don't want to collect anymore. Let's see what happens. Oh, I think he finds double... Okay, he finds double movement anyways, so it doesn't matter so much. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the board here. So yeah, this one is pretty lost. These ones are pretty... There's quite a lot of recording, so I'm gonna skip through a lot, I think. Let's just skip ahead a little bit. I hold out for a little bit, and I think I managed to kill the monstrosity at some point. Yeah, so here... he steps the monstrosity in tower range. I think he was a little bit pressured by the timer, but... I've got the Sunken Tower on the board, so I got a free kill here. Hey Babster, haircut. It has been cut. I think this is the shortest I've ever had it. It'll take some getting used to. I've got my screens, like I just moved to this new room yesterday, so I gotta adjust my screens a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, the timer can be super pressuring for a lot of people. And just sometimes when you're roping, you just make bad plays because of that pressure. Definitely something to get used to. Need to start playing tempo rush stuff. It's also another thing to help with the timer is like knowing the deck super well. I don't know how much you played with it, and I'm just speaking generally. Also, like if you pick up like a brand new deck or something, and you don't know it very well, then when you get into these sort of rope timers, you're gonna struggle to find the correct plays. I think, yeah, what just helps with not roping is knowing the deck super well. I mean, I rope anyways with decks that I know super well, so, you know. Probably have probably the least tournament experience of players here, and the pressure with timers is big. Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that too. The timer can be big pressure. And yeah, so sometimes you just kind of have to make a decent line, something that just doesn't like kill off your creatures or anything. Maybe it's not the most optimal line, but roping at the last second and making a bad play is just the worst. Can think ahead 1 to 2 turns with green blue beasts, but new decks, I'm grateful I don't misplay horribly. Yeah. Another thing about this game is it's hard to, like, you can kind of think ahead to future turns, but you also, it's a little bit unpredictable because you don't know what's in their hand and such. Unlike chess, where you kind of can calculate out all the plays that they're gonna make. But yeah, let's skip ahead. This one's clearly over. I put in a valiant effort, but he does eventually overcome me. But I spent a long time on this match trying to win, where I should have probably surrendered. And I've used up like so much of my time bank trying to win this match. Clearly it's just a desperate attempt here. So throw in the surrender. I'm now on to my last deck, Copter Control. So I gotta win this one. I do have these 2 destructive volleys that I tacked in, so those are going to be quite useful in this matchup. This one was pretty exciting. I think we're going to watch a little bit more of this one. Played bad enough to give you a chance. I probably should have won by a lot more. There was a few plays here that I think gave me an easy in. That we'll probably see. Don't draw a starting creature, which is a little depressing to see. But I think I top deck one. Yeah. So I top deck the Brigand. Keeping the Explorer with this list, especially with Copter in hand, is excellent. It lets me extend the range of my Copter one more tile. Copter Control, favorite deck to watch you play. Hey, thanks. I love this list, even though everyone, there's a lot of haters. And, it's not a top tier deck, but it's super fun to play. So I put down a backup Brigand to collect in case he finds something to clean that up, Wind Soldier or something. Just kind of guarantees my collection there. Did learn a lot from your matches. That's good. Yeah. Can use every game as a learning experience. So I top deck Flame Burst, which means I do have a clear on this Manta Rider. I'm unsure if this was a good thing to do, though. So I am, in this matchup, I was trying to push up aggressive one side because of monstrosity things. I want to get to the face fast, but here, because I've got this Explorer in hand and the Copter, I get to Flame Burst and Copter this to clean up the little Manta that spawns. But this requires that I put my lands on both sides of the walls. I go for it because I feel like he hasn't played any other creatures, so I just go for it. It feels like a strong line, but I mean, he's got 8 Faeria, so I don't know. I stepped this guy back because I might want to take up this collection spot in the future if he tries to contest this side. If he does play Wind Soldier, I'm kind of fine with that because I still get my 2 collections. And he's not collecting at all. I could have stayed left side with Shifting Tide, that's true. Yeah, the Shifting Tide would have allowed me to stay there, and I would have still got that sort of line off. That's true. Could have started stepping up this Brigand already. You had a few creatures. Okay. So there's a monstrosity. This volley in hand is a little bit awkward for right now. Because, I mean, obviously he's got no flyers. So I think I'm just going to set up the boss on the right side. Yeah, boss on right side, and then we'll again reinforce the left. So this just contests his collection spot here. He doesn't want to step his monstrosity in range. But it looks like he's found a flash wind or some movement. So cleans up one of them. I don't know if that was super necessary to use up the movement trick there, because I still get to collect from this side. So saving the movement trick could have been nice for a later turn. I mean, yeah. I guess you don't want to play into like some tricks or something, but so here I'm looking for. I really want to find a copter, so I use the shifting tide to draw because the copter would be just so excellent here. So I use the shifting tide, but I draw another shifting tide, and then I'm like, well, I was fine using the one because I've got 3 of these, but I wasn't so fine using a second one. So I just end up passing, I think. I could also draw here and then use the shifting tide to get the copter spot anyways. I think my thought was I wanted to self-damage. Yeah. Yeah, no, I should have drawn manually, because shifting tide does the exact same job. But yeah, anyways. I'm switching my game plan here. Going in between the wells. I think I was debating double flame bursting this, but it's a little bit expensive. I think I'd like to see where he goes next. Also, like, yeah, double flame bursting this doesn't really matter because he gets to collect on this side anyways. And if he collects on this side, I'm pretty happy with that because then I get to use this boss to trade it off instead. So yeah, I didn't want to double flame burst there. Although this is a bit spooky. Okay, oh yeah, it's Wind Soldier. And here, I just missed one collection. I think you used the Flash Wind here to go face. Yeah. So I think in this sort of like monstrosity list, you want to hold your movement tricks usually. The Fanatic coming down is fine, I think, because it's in double collection, but yeah, maybe it was the timer again. Yeah. But yeah, mobility is super important in this list, especially with this 11 attack monstrosity there. So now I'm just desperate for some creatures to play. So I use the Shifting Tide again to draw. I get Axe Grinder and Brigand. Axe Grinder is a little bit awkward. It just trades really poorly into these Fanatics. So I think I go for the Brigand here. I'm getting impatient. I go for the Brigand, and then I think I clear the Monstrosity. I did see you use like 2 or 3 movement tricks, or like 3 or 4 movement tricks already. But I am a little bit spooked of this going face still. The timer can be pressuring, for sure. Yeah, so I do a Humbling, Flame Burst there. And then I also Flame Burst this one with the rest of my Faeria. It's very expensive, but this stops this guy from collecting, really, to clear this guy, so he's kind of, if he wants to collect, he's got to go to left side. Like, he can build 2 lands, of course, but, like, this is the same investment as a +1, so It's taking away the collection from him either way. So he retreats, drops an emissary. I top decked the second volley, so I think I used the volley here. Actually, I might produce another creature. So I've only got 4 Faeria, and he's got triple collection set up right now, which could make it pretty easy for him to remove things. So I go for the volley. I step this up aggressive because want to get to his face, but I also kind of want to set up this axe grinder spot. And if he drops anything here, I can answer it immediately with that volley anyways. So if it's a Manta Rider, volley and then trade is super nice. Demon is a little bit awkward, that's true. But he's going to clear this off anyways. Although that's another movement trick used. So all these movement tricks gone is going to make the late game a little more difficult. I think I'm going to drop this Axe Grinder to contest the Mistral Guide. This does play into Wind Soldier a little bit, but he's played 2 of them? Maybe just 1 of them. But I just go for it because I need a creature to play anyways. Like, I have to play that Axe Grinder. There's nothing else I can play. And I don't volley this immediately because, I don't know, I'm looking for this volley to hit a monstrosity because monstrosity is the big threat. It could have been useful there. I don't know. This is Demon, I believe. Yeah. Top deck Sirocco. So Sirocco gets to get played this turn. I fell behind from the start, and trying to force action gave up any chance. I think if you held off on the movement tricks, you might have had a better chance. So I need to play a 6th land. I put it in between the wells because this is a decent copter spot, but I'm going to put this Sirocco over on right side so I can collect with him and still have him out of range of the 4/4s. Again, he's used like 4 movement tricks now, I think. I'm pretty sure he has like only 1 movement trick left, actually. 1 fanatic left. Because if this is Lizard's list, it's got 2 Flash Winds, I think, and 3 fanatics. So Sirocco's pretty big here. Yeah, no tricks. Using Shifting Tide in this deck makes sense. But I always feel like I should have greedily kept them all for Sirocco. Oh yeah. I found that the Shifting Tides work a lot better. Sunken Tower is a little bit too land heavy. And like I often need the Shifting Tide in the early game to get good trades, so that's why I swapped that. So the Manta also comes in range of the Sirocco, so I kind of get to trade this for free. Hey, yes, you lost 10k and wait, and made it back? Maybe it back? I hope you made it back. That's insane, man. That's terrifying. Okay, you made it back. That's good. Yikes, man. That cryptocurrency stuff. Sunken Tower, 2 land heavy. Oh. Yeah, it needs to lighten up on the lands. This Gary top deck's interesting, but I don't think it's going to see play here. So here I'm debating using the Copter to clear this, or just hitting in with Sirocco. Oh, actually, Stinky still should have some what's the card? Kalim's Training, right? I don't know if you run those too, but I think Lizard runs like 2 trainings. Oh yeah, you do. You used one later on. What I should do here though is definitely volley this guy. He's in double collection. I don't, but that's a double collector that I should take care of. So I just hit in with Sirocco and pass, but I give him 2 free collections. I think this volley definitely should have gone there. Like, I'm trying to save this for Monstrosity, but... Like, take out the double collector. Hey, Mac, there seems to be a new reply function in Twitch. A new reply function. Interesting. There's 2. Oh, okay. Don't you want to kill... Yeah, I definitely wanted to kill the guide there. Hey, Itchy. First 10k you lose. And get back is always the hardest. Yeah, I don't know. You're a braver man than I, yes. If you hit with Sirocco, you take value out of his Nightmare. That's true. If he has Nightmare. So this demon's also in my range. I'm really happy to see this. Oh yeah, I think I was just trying to save up Faeria for Garridan, but like Gary does nothing on that previous board. Like Volley always had to come on this. But he has given me extra Gary targets, so happy to see that at least. So we're gonna... I don't get to collect, unfortunately, with this line. I mean, I had to do that anyways, but... It is unfortunate I didn't get to collect. But it was nice. Some nice value there. Again, that double collector is just really annoying though. It's collected so much for him. Also, I put this center land here because I get to build like an aggressive mountain somewhere for Rakoacopter in the future. Allows it to hit everywhere. We will be like father and son. So there's the monstrosity that I was looking for the volley, so... I mean, I guess I have an answer to it now, so that's nice. Any one of those wasted movement tricks? Yeah. Yeah, true. Could have been an answer to dealing with him. It's tough. It's... Especially with less... Like, I played this lizard list, and sometimes you get into quite the pickle, where there's just so many plays that you can make, and there's a lot of, I don't know, micromanaging all of these various creatures that you have on the board, and movement tricks and such. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use this copter, that copter spot that I made all those turns ago, and then I'm gonna collect with this guy. This is within a movement trick range, so I was a little bit spooked about that, but again, he's used so many of them up, although he's on 8 cards, so might be more likely that he finds that extra movement trick. Triton Chef is interesting. Yeah, I put this in here for some extra deck weight. And a starting creature, it's still a starting creature, and also gives me a little bit more mobility on my combat creatures, but I'm unsure of it. It's a little bit expensive. 5 Faeria, like imagine putting the buff on this guy. It's like 5 Faeria for a 3/3 jumper. That's terrible. But it is a trick, so it has a little bit more value than that. Assume this is a lizard deck. Yes. Played a lot, but nothing like what you have now. Huh. It's a tough list to pilot. I think it needs some practice. It's always wacky. That's true. You can always tell a lizard deck. Oh, right, so this play I was super upset with myself. So I think in this position I'm starting to notice my timer. So I'm on 4 minutes 28 seconds. And I still have an entire other game to play, and I'm nowhere near winning right now. And so typically the standard is, they say 8 minutes is like the standard match length. And I have 4 minutes, assuming that I even win this. I think I do, though. From this position, it's pretty strong. But I start playing super fast. I missed playing this Triton Chef on this lake because I had the Faeria to play it, and I would have set up double collection for myself. But I just didn't play it, which annoyed myself a little bit. But I am in a very good spot here with that volley in hand. I'm like, yeah, flicking the card, a little bit annoyed that I didn't play it. Bloated Toad's nice, so I think I start playing super fast here. Yep, we just play as fast as possible, click all the things. So another thing to note also is, oh, actually, okay, well that turn that I was thinking of going fast, I was behind on time. Stinky was actually ahead of me on his timer, which means I definitely have to play fast if I want to win. Okay, so I top decked the Cypher, I got the Banquet, so I'm gonna hop up, drop Big Boy, Copter, and just play as fast as I possibly can. It does feel good now that I'm ahead on time, but I want to make sure that I actually get this win. The next one is most likely Carassius, which can be spooky. Another thing, when you're playing fast and you're low on time, you want to use the time that your opponent is taking their turns in to think out your turns. So, like, I saw that Manta Rider coming down, I'm thinking, okay, I've got this Copter in hand to deal with that thing. I'm just going to use that Copter to deal with the Manta. Step over trade. And then these double neutrals played down because I know that I'm going to need lands to step on in the future. And I find the lethal, which is really nice that I got the lethal there, because that saves me an entire turn. If I didn't have the lethal there, it would take an entire extra turn to sort of win. You're supposed to be thinking about the game while you play. Oh yes, I should have mentioned. Stinky and you are having a live scrim fight right now. Oh, yeah, no, this is the past tournament. You can see like the time on this one. There's like no time left of the video. Yeah, so he picks Carassius. Didn't know you can think on opponent's turn. Damn, now I don't need to rope anymore. Yeah, and then also playing fast. So like here, now Stinky's kind of got some pressure on him since he's got a lower time bank than me. So I also want to keep my turns pretty quick, because I don't want Stinky to be able to think on my turns. I want him to use as much of his time bank up as possible. Your autopilot is stuck on slow. It doesn't come up often, running low on time. So, I choose to fight sides. If this was an actual like green-blue list, like green-blue jump or something, I would definitely go to the opposite side. But because I know that this is Carassius, and I know there's very limited buffs in this list, I go to fight sides, using the Explorer so that I can test this lake spot, and that forces him to go to the opposite side. Double neutrals in Crassius sucks, because it just slows their land count down so much. Should not have picked a side, yeah. That's why I think after I make the play. Brilliant. So I go between wells. I don't want to step in range of this, in case of a buff, for sure, of course. Drops a Leia, which is something, but I've got this Gary that I get to play next turn, so I had the option to hit into this, but Stinky steps up as 3-4, which means I get to hit into the 3-4 instead, keeping my boss alive, and giving me 2 extra Faeria to deal with this Leia, for use of that destructive volley. So, hit in, volley the Leia, and this is just massive Gary turn. Press red, I find if they come to your side, life is so much harder. First red, green, blue, I like to make a V start. Yeah, the V start's pretty nice, so you get to pick the sides. The last match was certainly defining. This play is also excellent because I get to... my boss isn't awkwardly just here into the structure. I get to immediately kill it, drop aggressive, cab 10. Stinky has all of his lands now that he needs for this Crassius list. So Crassius could start to come down soon. There's a tosser.
Installing updates.
This tosser gives me a really nice copter line here. If I want to hit face, I do have to build the mountain here. So I think about this turn a little bit, because I think this one's somewhat important. I mean, I've got a little bit of time to spare here. I'm so pushed on his face right now that I think I can afford to think a little bit, but not. I don't want to think too much. So that shifting tide was kind of nice tempo, making sure to step on all his lands. Stinky's got a minute left, which is good. I think, so Crassius in this position is still spooky. Like, Crassius can still come back. Maybe. This is pretty strong. This is a strong setup, but with the time bank, and Crassius is a little bit slow to deal the lethal. So as long as I keep my timer above his, I should be pretty good here. So there's 2 Crassius coming down. But I think I'm just gonna hit face here. Gonna use the 1 volley, saving the flame burst, of course, for face and such. Actually, oh, I used the Gift of Steel here. So I used my combat to get 2 Faeria. Doesn't matter where that neutral goes. Yeah, I get 2 Faeria, so then, yeah. Order mattered a lot there. Technically could have survived, blocked in the end. Yeah, it's tough when the time bank's low too, because unless you have Majinata in the future, Crassius only can deal 3 damage to my face each turn, so that's a lot of turns that it'll take to get to lethal. Needed to not pick a side that turn. Yeah, I think definitely.
Would you like some tea?
Just start with water, Ellie. Literally, game lost right there. Just... it was... yeah, maybe. He does manage to find the clear, but then his timer runs out, so we get the victory. Okay. Next one's first DornBearClaw. So that was the best of 3. This is best of 5 now. So looking at bans, I see a husk. I am disgusted. I immediately click on that one. This one is some weird colors. This is red, yellow, burn. I think I actually banned one of these, because that's a lot of burn. I don't really want to deal with that much burn. The green, yellow I can probably manage okay. Wait, do I ban the green, yellow? No, no, no. I banned one of these red, yellows. So I think I'm trying to map out which one is Scourge Flame and which one is not. This one has 33 overall colors, so there's 1 overlap. This is probably the Scourge list, especially 3.7. But I think that the Scourge list is the one that I don't want to ban. That's probably my easiest matchup. The other one might have like husks and things, so I kind of want to ban that one. So yeah, I think I lock in that ban. He bans my Copter list, which is interesting. If Moon spent this much time analyzing the Dogecoin, he'd be rich. Yes. Wish I could ban Husk on ladder. Yes. I must... There was something with the Dogecoin. I saw it in the news briefly somewhere. It like skyrocketed or something, or what happened? I don't remember. Husk is fine. I don't know if Husk is fine though. Like Merchant's the annoying one, but what did I start with, by the way? Oh, I started with Beastmaster. Why did I start with Beastmaster? I don't think I should start with Beastmaster. Beastmaster is like my backup to fight this red-yellow, right? But I go for it. I think I should have started with Krog Rush. Beasts. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter so much. So let's skip a little bit. There's 4 hours of footage, so let's get through a little bit of this. Okay, so he's got the Spectre on the board, which means I want to try to play out of Spectre range as much as possible. I dealt with 2 damage here with that Stalker earlier in the match, just because I needed to dump my hand a little bit to prevent this production from happening. This Llama is something I don't want to hit into just yet. Managed to get the Aridin though. So Llama's going to be a little bit awkward, but I have had double collection set up here for a little bit, so should be okay. He steps the Ariana into trade range though, which is interesting. So I get a free trade with my Aridin. You can say I brought my Faeria skills to crypto. That's why I'm doing so well. Ah, yes. The translatability. Other neutral goes here so that I can block his collection spot and like I want this to die, so that's fine. I need to play another card to play out of range. I think that I want to put the Golem on right side though, because I'd like to kill this in one shot. Oh, I actually play the Willow here too. Fair enough. So Willow here too just gives me a backup collector in case he finds an answer here, I guess. And making sure to keep a green creature in hand, of course, for that Oakling buff. I don't want to leave Oakling on the board without a target. Step into Aridin range. Yeah, I guess he just was looking for the Ariana value, but Aridin is so much more valuable. He drops Ariana over here, which is a little bit passive, I think. It's not... I think he's played it... No, wait, no, this might have been the third time he's played it, actually, so I think he does get his treasure here. So I guess that's fine. This is an oopsie moment. So why did I draw? I drew a card. Why did I draw? Oh, I was looking so I had the feed. I wanted to feed this Oakling, but I didn't want the buff to go on Voice of Truth, so I was drawing to look for something else that I could potentially buff. But I'm at 4 cards. I'm at 4 cards now, so I gotta play something to stay out of limit, but I don't. I forget about it. And then he gets the free buff for no reason. And that was an oopsie, but oh well. Wait, okay, he played the bottle. Maybe this was only the second time he played it. I don't know. Okay, demon. There's a husk. Oh, there's double husk. So this play, like, could have just lost me the whole game for no reason. I don't know. Probably not. But, like, I gave him 1 free buff and 2 free husk hits just for not playing under threshold. But, I mean, I've managed to collect for a long time, so... I feed, get the lucky Tyrion Golem hit. Oh. I've got double command, so I just use both of these on the husks here. So I guess it's not bad. I managed to come back from that awful play. Build these double neutrals just to get an aggressive forest spot. Asked him how he didn't ban your green. With all the burn, he likes to run. He didn't want to talk about it. Oh. Yeah, bans can make all the difference. Bans are a pretty big part of the tournament. And this is something that's probably difficult and a new thing, or like a new thing for new players as well, is like realizing that I'm not talking about Dorn. I just mean like new players in general. Realizing that bans, or like what to ban, is a difficult thing for newer players. Because they've just started the game and they're just looking at like the ladder, and like, this is a brand new thing to them. They're already learning all these new concepts and such, and then banning is a difficult thing. You have to know the meta pretty well as well to pick the right ban. I mean, there are some... I think knowing your own decks is more important, because like... And knowing what your own deck is weak to, like... You don't have to know that a deck is strong against your lineup if it's got like just it's really red heavy or something. I don't know. So we got a treasure here, and it was big juicy. Okay, it doesn't play it yet. He gets a big juicy 5/5 taunts and a 7/7 golem. So that was a pretty strong turn from him. He blocks my collection spot too. But this Grove Guardian, because of the Aridin buff and the Ancient Beastmaster, I get to actually play this down as a 7/8 to contest that guy. I'm going to feed the Voice of Truth here. I could get more Faeria out of the Willow, but I mean, I'm on 18 Faeria from that with another feed in hand, so I didn't think that was really necessary. I thought that having that more life stat on board was more important. I ban with the blindfold on. Exactly, yeah, you have to know how am I gonna beat this matchup. Like, yeah, so I always make those considerations when I'm banning. If I kind of imagine a scenario. Also, imagine a scenario where your best deck gets banned. Can you still beat their lineup? And which deck should you ban based on that sort of thought process? Big boy Tyrion Golem right at the face. I stepped the Beastmaster over. I think Beastmaster should be on this spot. Oh, no, I guess I did this because of movement trick. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, fair enough. If the Grove Guardian was... If these two were swapped, he might have found Flash Wind, and then he could have gotten free value hit on the Beastmaster, but here it's a lot more difficult. He needs to build a land to Flash Wind over. So yeah, never mind. I like this Grove Guardian there. Yeah, he doesn't find Nightmare or anything, so... he finds Altar of Souls. This is the interesting list. Altar of Souls is actually kind of spooky. Very good against green things. But I mean, I've got this 12-17 up here. I decide I need to drop more aggressive things and just ignore this. Oh, why do I feel like I could have traded into this. I don't know why I ignored this. I get him... Again, keeping the double collector alive. This could have been so terrible for me this tournament. I feel like your ban considerations versus you were more like, okay, he's swept the last opponent with this 3-0, so I'm gonna ban this thing. Oh, no, I knew your Flyers list was very strong and had like nightmares and things, and I knew it was really strong against my lineup too. Like, you would have instantly won my green matchup, and you would have instantly won... Well, not instantly, but I think your Flyers list would be decent against Krog. I don't know. And then my Copter list, you had the nightmares for the Sirocco and like big things that I had to play, so all I'd have left is these small things that just get value traded by Flyers. So yeah. It's the strongest list in the world. Hey, Fickle. Camouflage. Okay, let's jump ahead a little bit. There's one more play here that was interesting. Somewhere up here. Oh, he played Rapala, which is funny. I have 18 Faeria to spend and all of these fish to play, so that's a little bit awkward, but I'm in quite a strong spot anyways. So the one interesting play here was somewhere around here. Okay, this one. So, because he's playing Altar of Souls, I know that he's got Radiance in the list, so I decide not to hit in with the Ancient Boar here. I still have one attack that I can use on this guy, but I don't want to give him the option to Radiance. I mean, it's not going to matter hugely here. I'm in such a strong position, but this plays out of Radiance range by not hitting in, and I set up lethal for next turn anyways. Sticking with your lineups game plan is another good reason. Maybe we'll actually learn one day from these lessons. It takes a lot of effort. And often you forget these things too, because like we don't all play Faeria like constantly every day, 8 hours a day as our like full-time job or something. Like sometimes we just forget the things we learn also. But yeah, so this one was 1. Found the Ulani. Okay, so the next one, he played the green-yellow. Yeah. He found a merchant start here, which is super annoying early game. Like, this type of opening hand just hurts to see. I do have Beastmaster, which is kind of nice. I played the Explorer here because I thought I was going to play something. I thought I was going to play two things, but then ended up realizing I couldn't. But whatever, that's fine. It's kind of worth a consideration. I agree, actually. It is worth considering what list the opponent can play best, because I think there have been a couple people in the past who say, like, just like there's a deck that is scientifically good or something, and it doesn't matter who can play what. But I think that it's a pretty important decision, and a pretty important thing to think about, who is good at what deck and such. I have a Manta Rider. Yeah, Manta Rider is kind of awesome. That's why it's good to play everything best. Exactly. Not Husk all day or Rakoans all day. Yeah, and I have played a lot of green-blue very heavily. I think I tend to have some variety in my lineups usually, but I usually tend to stick with green-blue things. At least like one or two decks. So I was debating putting this out of... Okay, so I put the Deepwood Stalker down here. This doesn't play out of Husk range or anything, but this gives me a collector, and not hitting into anything here means that I preserve this life stat. It gets to survive longer. I don't really have that many options to clear this anyways. And against Husk, I just want to collect as much as possible. Next time I would bring 4 lists with 30 yellow cards, 2.9 cost. Lizard did that once. Good luck banning the flyers. I always wonder if the system would favor green during Ruunin season. The system? How do you mean? Yeah, definitely play to your strengths. The system actually does anything? Wait, what do you mean by the system? So this is a little bit awkward, but it's manageable. So I kind of want to play this Ancient Boar. I don't have a discount on it, unfortunately. But I end up playing it anyways because I just think it's a strong sort of play. Hit this Manta Rider in to the Demon. So he's played the Weeping Idol, which means his Demon's going to collect him extra Faeria for the turn. So I'd like to deal with that to just sort of deny him that extra Faeria. So I step up, clear, and then I dash the boar to block another collection spot. And I guess the buff, so from the Beastmaster, which is perfect stats to line up with that. The 2/2 is a little bit awkward, but gonna have to deal with that. It would be kind of funny if Ruunin costs only 4 during the season. That would be kind of funny if they like kind of buffed each card during each season. I wanted to have a seasonally relevant deck, but I'm not good with green. I was thinking of bringing like a full lineup of like 4 Ruunins or something. I thought that would be kind of funny. These are good ideas. The system equals Abraham. Oh. The system equals capitalism. Aurora making things 5-4. Oh god. Wait, what? 5-4? I don't get why... Hey, Lizard. I don't get why people bring green-yellow self-harm. Literally dealing damage to your lineup. I mean, Nats is okay, if you consider that self-harm. Still sad that the Ruunin death mechanic got nerfed. I mean, Ariana's not as strong as Ruunin. Ruunin was a little bit strong. That's a 6 mana 5/6. How is that okay? Wait, what? I missed some stuff. What happened here? Did I not use the Voice of Truth? Oh, I top decked the command, right. So I was considering using the Voice of Truth, but I top decked command, which is kind of just a cleaner answer. So I use that there. Although, yeah, I mean, I could have stepped out of Husk Threshold, I guess, if I had played Voice of Truth plus command. Yeah, with the +1, I could have Voice of Truth and then commanded this or something, but I don't think it's that important. He doesn't have Husk on the board yet. Yeah, Ruunin used to appear immediately. It's definitely a lot worse. It's kind of meh. Oh, the Avenger. Yeah, 6 mana 5/6. That was super weird, wasn't it? Just because your 0/1 has dash doesn't mean it's a good card. Could you OTK with Ruunin? Yeah, dash. So, I don't know, this is interesting. I think I go for the Grove Guardian taunt here instead of clearing. Which I guess that's okay. I'm hoping to get a little bit more use out of this Beastmaster, I suppose. And then I play the Rubiak to feed it, which is just kind of like a 0-cost cycle. Draw a card. But I guess I was looking for more answers to play this turn, so yeah, fair enough. I also Tyrion Golem feed here to find something else. Extra Beastmaster. I put the Beastmaster on the left side to contest that 3/3, and then Grove Guard. Yeah, I think I should have just cleared this, to be honest. Like, put Grove Guardian aggressive or something, and cleared it. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. He's on 13 Faeria, and only 3 cards in hand. I don't know. Yeah, there wasn't a ton of pressure here, that's true. I guess if another Altar of Souls came out, Altar would kind of suck, but even then, he can only alter one. He can get 1 6/1 at a time. The Soul Pact giving him 4 Faeria. Not a lot of creatures here, so I just kind of play Oakling, which has the stats now to fight those idols. 21 Faeria. Yeah, let's skip ahead a little bit. What else happens? He gets a triple Husk down. Oh yeah, it's a Soul Eater list, but I do have these Voice of Truths to deal with it. I think the first... He dropped a Voice of Truth before this. I mean, a Soul Eater before this. And I opted to clear it with stats first. Wait, let's see. Yeah, so he dropped a 7/7 Soul Eater here. I had the Voice of Truth option, but I wanted to clear off this Aridin, and I wanted to get also an Oakling buff, so I decided to clear this guy with stats. It's the stats that I had on the board. Save this Voice of Truth for the next Soul Eater. Also, it's only a 7/7, which is pretty crazy. We're like 15 cards into our deck. And then I've got that command to clear. And then we win from here with the Voice of Truth. Alright, so the next one was against the red-yellow. I'm going super aggressive here. I don't have a ton of healing. And I step back in case of training Flash Wind just to save myself that 3 damage face hit with the training Flash Wind. Oakling is OP. Training Fanatic. Sorry, yeah, there's no Flash Wind. He's on 4 land only. Yeah. Training Fanatic. Because that would have hurt a little bit. I get to develop Boar and Grove Guardian here, which is pretty nice. Go back and collect because he didn't have the training Fanatic that turn. I mean, he could have it this turn, but I'd rather get the collection. Boar Guardian. Racing against red yellow is always a bit sketchy, but I feel like I have to race, kind of. I mean, I guess I have no defensive options to defend with. But I mean, the Grove Guardian could go defensive, I suppose. It just gives him a little bit more time. I think you have to race if you don't have healing here, though, right? Yeah, I mean, my only healing is 2 Emperor's Commands in this list, and I have 1 of them in hand. Probably too much to hope for drawing a second one. Yes, I'm just gonna bop face with both of these. Gonna use the Voice of Truth here. Step that guy back again. So I choose to put the Voice of Truth in this spot, which actually makes a difference in the later game, you'll see. So I was thinking of Voice of Truthing this to put it out of Cypher's Wrath range, but then I realized this is already in Cypher's Wrath range. He just has to hit in and then Wrath this. So I think, well, I guess that's kind of pointless. Maybe I just use it on this guy, which is only like a -1 stats, but I can combo this with my Emperor's Command, which takes away my healing. A little bit spooky, but I think that was pretty necessary. Because now he only gets 1 combat hit here. I mean, Emperor's Command heals by 4. This would get to deal, like, I don't know, it saves... I lose 2 healing, I guess. Would the other spot be better for collection with Voice of Truth? No. Voice of Truth should have gone here. That's for sure. I was thinking of moving this Living Willow down to defend my face, which is why I put it here. But I mean, like, I could have collected up aggressive anyways, and then it's in an aggressive spot as well to hit face. Why didn't he drop land on C2? Here? Oh, I guess so. Yeah. I guess he wanted to collect. But yeah. That would have been a little more land efficient probably. But see here, I would have had the lethal. If the Voice of Truth was aggressive, I could have hit in for 10 with the Voice of Truth. And then I could have fed one of these guys. And then I could have teleported the Living Willow for the lethal. But opponent missed a hit on the Willow with 3/6. Because he had the Flash Wind, right? Yeah. Could have had some extra hits there. Yeah, I would have had lethal there. Sounds like one of your puzzles. Yeah, if only the guy was up there, but whatever. I managed to win anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I always feel kind of pressured to race red-yellow. Just because they deal so much damage to your face, and don't have a ton of healing at least. Yeah, he finds the Gift of Steel. He actually had the Faeria to find a lethal there, which was a little bit spooky. He didn't find it, but he did have enough Faeria to find lethal. Also, if that mountain was there, he might have found it. I guess I would have been on 1 life then instead, but need to improve on your puzzle solving. Yes. Puzzles are just ladder matches on steroids. Puzzles can be quite helpful. I was thinking of making like a puzzle series, but I never got around to it yet. This is the semifinals versus Antik. I've never actually seen this player before. I think he was like relatively new. He was like level 100 or something. I feel that the blue is my worst matchup. Blue can kind of be resilient to Krog Rush, can do things against Beastmaster. The red-yellow, I've got like pretty reasonable things with this double green lineup, the red as well. And then green-yellow with the Avenger cover, I'm not super threatened by that one either. So I go for the blue ban. If you'd used the Flash Wound earlier, plus some combination of burn from hand, you're looking pretty dead. Yeah, I was kind of spooked. That was a pretty scary one. Also, if he had actually won that match, I would have had a pretty challenging time to win. I did have 2 decks left to play against him. Wait, what did he ban? No, he banned the Copter. I guess I still had my Beastless to fight it, so I guess it wasn't that concerning. Alright, Taiga. Have a good night. Sleep well. Racing makes defending so awkward for green. But, so like I have that one forest spot in the center, which was kind of my defensive land. I don't know. It felt like what I had to do, but because like the center land, if it has taunt also, you can kind of defend everything. So I start with Krog Rush here. It's a pretty good, solid starting deck. Unless I'm using this as a counter to something, which I don't really think I am. It's kind of, it's not really a hard counter to any of this. Maybe the green-yellow, actually, it could be pretty good against. If it's, like, swarmy. I want to save my beast list for these red-heavy lists. So, saving beasts. Copter can use in the future also. Krog's pretty solid to start. So he starts with the green-yellow. I toss the dance away because I've got Krog in hand. I don't have a ton of experience with this list, but decided to bring it and did reasonably well. So yeah, let's just jump ahead. Krog Rush is going to do rush things. He actually counter rushes me, which is something. I could have done something better here. So I go for the mountain on this spot. I think this is a mistake because this doesn't really do anything. This lets him step onto my land. Wait, what do I do? I think I put the red devil in front of my face, sort of. So this one here, this lets him step onto my land and put an aggressive well spot land for free, and then I'm not collecting, and he gets to set up a collector. So this play really sucked, I think. Also, he also has the option just to block off my land. What I should have done here, I feel, is mountain, and then actually Krog's dinner, because really unlikely he gets an answer to the Krog. I guess I could run Wind Soldier, but this does have a collector for me. And I can still block this spot, and then I can collect with the Krog's Dinner, because I don't think I'm going face this game. Probably not, unless he doesn't block my land, I guess. Yeah, Monstrosity looks like or seems like a complex deck to pilot. Does Krog's Dinner still find Krog? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Krog's Dinner still finds Krog. Also, if it died this game, you get to regenerate the Krog, which is cool. Small bear versus dummy thick ogre. So yeah, he drops a lot of stuff. I get to Krog here, and I'm going to block the well spot, so he didn't take the well spot, so I get to take the well spot at least. And then I'll kill the aggressive guy. I could have value hit the ogre, but I wanted to kill that aggression. I felt that I needed a little bit more time to sort of get big stuff. And I play both of the dinners there because you don't want Krog hitting the dinner. You want to make sure those are out of hand. So that's why I played both of them. They don't discount as much playing two of them, but I think you always want to play both. Krog needs 4 mans. Yeah. Don't know how Crush works. You just go face and then hope that you get lucky pings. That's pretty much what you do. There's some like strategizing to it, but I top deck the other dinner. That's my third dinner, but oh well. So I kind of want to get this out of my hand as well. So I set this up as a double collector between the wells. I think this is also important to get out of your hand to reduce the RNG. Just because I've also got the Bold Bargainer in there, it's pretty likely that the ping will eventually hit the 3-3, so I just play it. And Krog's not dying anytime soon either, so yeah. I get a free hit on that Grizzly, kind of nice hits there. And play the Hellfire now because in case he hits into Krog, I don't want that discount hitting the Hellfire again. Everyone knows about the one. Oh, I want another movement trick in the Husk Eater. There is a lot of draw with the Husks. That's true. So he swordfishes. I've also got this Meteor in hand, which is getting kind of likely to draw. We'll see. Hit the Bargainer. So now I've got a 50-50 chance of it hitting Meteor. Meteor would be excellent here. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what the Bargainer goes. I think it hits the Hellfire, unfortunately, but whatever. It's fine. And then I want to double collect, so I build a 6th mountain because Meteor's probably going to blow up my lands once I get that out. I also get to Meteor, I get to hardcast Meteor next turn because I'm on 8 Faeria. So I'm guaranteed a Meteor next turn, I think. Shrine buff. So that's a pretty spooky life total, but he's just invested all of his Faeria to do that, and now I get to Meteor. So I'm going to hit in with Krog first because I get this value hit and get Krog to survive. Also gives me a free 7 Faeria to work with this turn. Hits the Ogre Battler. So we're just going to Meteor. Bam. And now I'm super spooked about Wind Soldier plus training. So I'm playing super carefully here to try and play around that line. Wind Soldier training. I mean, if he is a rush, like, I wasn't really sure what he was. Like, the shrine kind of implies that it's rush. So training probably doesn't exist in this list, but I wanted to play around it just in case. So I double neutral. Well, I guess I can't play around it here. He still has the option to build the desert and flash when training. But next turn, I block it. Block it. I also don't step this 3-4 up to get the hit on the structure just yet. I want to block his forest spot. I think that's important. I don't need the Faeria this turn anyways. Can always clear it next turn. So he has to build a second forest to play that Grizzly, which is kind of nice. I can play Meteor again here, which is pretty devastating. I want to go for the Meteor because if I can take out all 3 of his lands, then I'm not threatened by anything anymore. He can't do anything at all. So he hit that, step the Ogre out of the Meteor range, and then I blow up my poor 3-4, but this is just a winning line. Like, now he's at 6 life, and he literally can't do anything. Like, the only thing he can do is Emperor's Command, and then that's not really doing anything. So that's a win. Next one is the red-yellow list with the hook cover. Swordfish, yeah. Swordfish is a pretty solid card, but I often find it's like awkward stats sometimes, especially into Humbling Vision. But yeah, it's pretty solid stats in red matchups or things like that. He's red, yellow. So keep the Ogre Battler because I think that his list is going to struggle a lot with the Ogre Battler. That's why I opted to keep that one over the Red Devil. I thought Red Devil stats are a little bit easier to deal with. Mood's still talking about winning lines when he's already won after dropping Krog on 4. But he could still win from there, right? Like, I was on 3 life. I mean, yeah, again, like, training's probably not likely, but he might find something. I play the Bargainer in hopes that it hits the Ogre, but it doesn't. This is just standard red-yellow burn, which is nice. So I have to play the Bargainer here to try and hit the Ogre. Because I'm on 7 Faeria, which is kind of awkward, but if it hits the Ogre Dance, it's not the end of the world. I still get to play the Ogre Battler. But it does hit the Battler, so that's nice. You have to taunt that guy. This just kind of locks down its movement. I don't really see a point in putting it aggressive. But now I just have to hit in. Can use that Ogre Dance to get the Devil. Drop the Devil. I think there's 1 or 2 plays in here that I could have done differently. He's playing Wind Soldier in this list, which is interesting. So that's something to be aware of. Also finds double Cypher's Wrath, but that was very expensive for him. He had to use 4 cards to clear all of that stuff. And I find another Ogre Battler. So I could draw here for more stuff, especially like Krog or something. But I think Ogre Battler is like always the card I want to play here, just to contest that 2-5 really nicely. So I decided to double neutral to the side to get collections going, kind of debate which spot to put it in, but decide that this spot is best. I mean, he could like drop something aggressive there, but he's low on Faeria now. I think it's okay. Yeah, it's pretty terrible clears. It's gonna be... this is gonna be a tough one for him. I think, like, Antik just needs to kind of build up for Scourge Flame lines to face, I guess. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. He flash wins my guy away, so he gets a sort of kind of value hit there. And then Sky and enemies hit. My draws just curved so nicely this game. Like, I got the 7 Faeria for the Bold Bargainer into the Ground Shaker. That's a lot of value. So yeah, I think this one's pretty much won. There was one thing here that happened though. I don't remember. There was one play where like I chose not to step up my Ogre Battler, which was just kind of by accident. I didn't mean to do that. Or like I didn't see it or something. I don't know. But anyways. Yeah, I think not much to talk about this one. This one's pretty much over. I step on all of his lands as much as possible, and then go for the face hits. Why not step the 6/6 on his land? Oh, was that... wait, was that the line? I missed it even looking at it. 6/6 on the land. When was he a 6/6? Oh, yeah, here. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, it was this line. Yeah, so for some reason, I thought this guy had taunt, so that's why I didn't step him up. I guess because I saw the Grim Guard here, and I in my mind I was just like, alright, he's got taunts on the board. I'm just gonna value hit this. But like I could have just stepped up, dropped aggressive Mountain, and dropped aggressive Red Devil. That would have been pretty great. But yeah, I thought that he had taunt for some reason. But yeah, definitely he bluffed the taunt. Yeah, fool me twice. Leaning more towards red burn these days. Really? I feel like red burn is like not that great anymore. Hey, Triple D. Our brains be doing that sometimes. Yes, they do. Lizard taking yellow out. I could never see that happening. Training in Flashwind. Super costly. Excuse me. Oh, I guess like card-wise, they're kind of costly. Okay, let's skip to the next. What did he pick here? Oh, right, he's only got one less left, so it's the red. Hey, Deku. Why is Twitch advertising tequila? Tequila. Do I look that young? Am I actually that young? Also, drinking age in Canada is 19. Unlike the States. I think in Alberta, it's actually lower. Wait. There's something about Alberta. Alberta's like... it's either a low drinking age or a low driving limit. I forget which one it is. So, he's rushing me. This list is kind of weaker to rush, but I should do okay with like these big stats. Ogre Battler is really nice on turn 2 with the Explorer. Gets kind of a free hit there. Or a free play. Don't you lose to tempo stuff by taking yellow out? Blushes. Canada's the only country where I've been carded for alcohol. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, like, Canada, like, they almost always card you. Unless you're, like, my aunt, my, like, 50-year-old aunt got carded, and she was super upset about that. She was telling me, she was like, I had to walk all the way back to my house just to grab my ID to have a drink. I'm like, you can clearly tell I'm of the age. So yeah, they card us pretty often. I have always been carded. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have a young face too, but y'all can't drink till 32 because you don't become men as fast as us amazing cans. Amazing. Sure, Deku. Keep telling yourself that. Lose some range. So yeah, so Antik went to this side to try and get the axe grinder spot, but had to switch sides, so lost a little bit of land investment there. I played this one a little poorly, I think. Go for the dance, get the Hellfire. So managed to clear off the Brigand, which is like, that's a really good Hellfire. It's a decent Hellfire. I mean, it would have been nice to kill both, of course, but it's RNG. I think that was like the best. Like, I'd much rather kill the Brigand than the Axe Grinder. I built this land, which I think is a mistake. I should have built this mountain, actually, to sort of block his land spot there in the future, I think. Because, I don't know, this one, like, it's defensive, so he doesn't get this sort of, this good land, but I don't know, I think this mountain spot was pretty strong. Bribing Abraham Hellfire RNG. I mean, a bribe would have let me get the full clear there. Don't think he would have danced there. Really? It's likely that it hits the meteor, I suppose, but I kind of wanted the early Hellfire, like, as soon as possible, I guess. I don't know, I guess Hellfire was a bit much to hope for, though. Is Shaker played in red-yellow? Oh, red-blue, sorry. Oh, you guys are talking about something else. Red-blue burn. Ah, that red-blue burn list, yes. Actually, this X grinder kind of makes things awkward. That 4-1 stats is pretty big. So I just pass. I mean, I think playing the Ogre could have, well, I don't know. Kind of building my way up towards Krog and Meteor, maybe. Actually, I wanted Meteor, that's true. I wanted to build up to Meteor. But Antik was a wise man and played out of Meteor range. So he hits, and then drops this mountain that I could have stopped. Like, I don't know, I just built this land for him to step on. I could have just built this mountain instead. This is also something. So, wait, what did I go for here? I think I went for Magnus here, which is, I don't know. I should have just went for Krog, probably. Step over, collect. Yeah, so I dropped Magnus, which I guess I put Magnus here because I had the Ground Shaker clear on the 3/5. And then he's able to clean up the X Grinder, but I don't know, he's just so easily answered, really. Krog is strong and mighty and can deal with this 4/1, and then just discounts. He just keeps discounting my hand. And then I can just play Magnus on a later turn, I think. So yeah, he gets value hit, Firestorm. I did get the Garridan from the Magnus, so that's kind of nice. But now I'm on 5 life. So yeah, Krog was probably the... I don't know. I think Krog was the better play. He gets kind of 2 free hits with the boss, but... that's a dinner, so I get another Krog if I want it. I go for Gary here. I guess that's okay. Yeah. So Ground Shaker could have cleaned them up nicely as well. But then I wouldn't have gotten to play Krog. So yeah, this was a pretty solid play, actually. Would have gone for Magnus here too. I think it's better for clearing. Yeah, that was a debatable play, I guess. I guess I had no clear on the 5/4 Axe Grinder, which was going to keep hitting me. It would have got to hit me in the face twice. So I guess so. Also, I think Garridan should have been on this mountain spot, actually. Because then, if he drops a creature like he did here, I would have been able to step over and collect. Like, this Krog is never getting removed as red. So putting Gary here only gives him 1 line, really, to contest. Also, in this mountain spot, I could contest this mountain spot by flying over, saving my Krog from something big or something. So that would have been a much better spot, I think. But now I gotta turn on the gas because I'm at 5 life, so, you know. I think Krog moves center and Gary goes right. Oh, Krog center. And Gary right. Really? I guess that were... oh, so that Krog can hit everywhere. Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Then Krog gets to hit any creature that comes down. That's true. I think also I was trying to play at a Bomb Slinger range, but I don't think that's very relevant, especially with Ground Shaker in hand. So he plays Horsemaster. I think on the VOD, he already had Lethal in hand. So nothing I could have done in this position would have helped, but... he had the Cypher's Wrath in hand. I played this guy here to play around another Horsemaster, but he finds Cypher's Wrath, Flame Burst. So Krog, unfortunately, did not sweep. We have to go on to game... whatever this one is. So I go for Beasts. Beast is my best matchup here, I think. Like, I could have gone for Copter Control just to get more information out of his list, but I don't know. I was kind of tired and I wanted to get it over with and like not drain myself for the finals too much, so I just went for Beasts and hoped for the best. There's not a ton of variation you can do in a mono red list like that. Like maybe Hook is the only weird... no, you wouldn't see Hook. Yeah, Beast is super favored, so like there's not really a point in dragging it out, I think. Just clean up with Beasts, should be fine. I think here I could have easily started to the side, so that I have the option to switch sides if I want to. You play Grizzly on one and never lose collection? Yeah, Grizzly's a big problem for red. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Red's pretty aggressive, so I want to defend a little bit. I get the... I top decked Water Ellie, so I used... I wanted to set up the Orphan Fugu to contest this guy. I put Fugu here. So I think these should be swapped, really. The Grizzly should be up aggressive and the Water Ellie back. And then I have the option to kind of put the Grizzly aggressive if I want to, or... I don't know. It gives me a little bit more choice than what I did there. This plays into Horsemaster. He just has to mount in Horsemaster. But I decided that that was fine, I guess, because if I put the Fugu here, then I'm eventually going to play into Horsemaster range anyways, if I want to collect. So I thought I might as well put him in range of the boss to kind of spook him a little bit. But he finds the Axe Grinder. And then he puts the Brigand up defensively. I kind of can just ignore this for now. So here I actually use my double neutrals. I've got a 6 land count in this deck, but I want to get this double collection and I want to clear off this Axe Grinder. Hitting into the... like I could value hit the boss, but this is pretty easily removed, so I'd rather destroy the more aggressive creature, I suppose. And then drop a big sturdy 5/6. This Ancient Herald's just a one of, by the way. It's not a beast. I know Saturn was questioning that. It's not a beast, but this was a suggestion by Lizard, and I ended up liking it. Because it's a 4-cost 5/6, which is kind of insane. And I wanted another starting creature, and none of the other beasts were speaking to me too much. I didn't want 3 Grizzlies, because 3 Grizzlies is a bit much. I don't know. Questioning the Herald Monk ass. It's so solid. Like 5... Yeah, it's so solid. It doesn't pair with Hunt Down or the Fugus, but I think that's okay. Mono Red's actually super solid. Haven't seen this in a tournament in a while. Top deck Hunt Down, but I'd rather produce more creatures than use the Hunt Downs, I think. That's not a beast, Lizard. It needs the beast synergy. Yeah, the thing with beasts is there's not really a lot of good beast synergy. Like, there's not really a lot of good things that beast synergy benefits anyways. There's Fugu and Hunt Down, and that's it. And I'm only running 2 Hunt Downs in this now, so... yeah, so I value hit. I think I'm considering going for Hunt Down here, but I just produce another creature. Stepping the Grizzly back's a bit pointless. Want to step him in between the walls. But actually, I don't even need to play a creature here, now that I think about it. I said I wanted to produce another creature, but... like, playing this Water Ellie is a bit pointless. It doesn't do anything. I guess it can hop backwards to sort of defend this spot. Whereas I don't want... I don't know. I don't think I don't want to put the Water Ellie here in the future, because it'll be in range of a creature that comes here, but then I also don't want to hop it. I don't know. Maybe this water alley just lets it hop places, I suppose. But I think I definitely want to hold that hunt down for something a bit more important. Like now. So he's now found the double Cypher's Wrath. Because I did have that answer to the boss, that's what I was saving it for, but now he's in Horsemaster range. I kind of would like to deal with that. But like equally as pointless as playing the Water Alley, I think it was also pointless to play the Flame Burst to kill it, because it wasn't doing anything. So I go for Hunt Down now, and then I get to drop the Octopus as well with this Faeria that I have. The question was just, what do I put this as? Like, I think a 5/5 is pretty good most of the time. Well, like a 3/7 is pretty good against red, but I'm a little bit spooked of Ground Shaker whenever I play 3/7s, because, well, I don't know, just anything really. Like Boss or Ground Shaker trades really favorably into Octopus. Yeah. Jump 3/5. I think jump 3/5 is what I pick here. I associated Herald Beastmaster with S of Dawn. Oh, really? Is that an S of Dawn thing? So I put an aggressive Octopus to kind of put a threat there, I guess. I don't know. This kind of lets me threaten the Brigand a little bit, because maybe I do have the Sunken Tower. Actually, I guess that's what I was thinking, wasn't it? I had the Sunken Tower, so I was hoping I could tower this guy. But I think he finds Horsemaster here. Flower Beast decks were broken. Really? I don't think I was there for that meta. Yeah, so he finds Horsemaster. Which kind of sucks. Maybe I should have considered that. And then put the Octopus down somewhere. Maybe like on the lake or something. Drops another Horsemaster for some aggression. And now I'm kind of in a bad spot here, because he's got all this aggression and I've got nothing to defend myself with. And I top decked the Ruunin's Guidance, so I decide that I need to race here, because it's a little bit slow to go back and defend now. And I mean, I've got two 5/5s here, so I decide to step up the Grizzly, especially with that Sunken Tower. I can hit face next turn. So I've got him on 2-turn lethal, Humbling Vision in hand, just to kind of get rid of anything spooky. Don't think a 3/5 is needed. You should just win with stats. Oh, the jump, you mean? Yeah, 5/5 could have been better, potentially, but the jump did allow me to get to... Well, I didn't even need the jump because I had the Sunken Tower, so if this was 5/5, I could have still actually pushed face that turn. So he's got Axe Grinder. He has played 2 Horsemasters here. So it's unlikely that there's a third, but it is possible. Let's explode together. Bomb Slinger. I've got the Humbling Vision to answer that, which is kind of nice. Top decked Ancient Boar. A 1-cost Ancient Boar, which means I get to play all of my hand now. Because that's from the Ancient Herald. So I'm going to try and use his lands as efficiently as possible to kind of develop this Ancient Boar and hit face a little bit more. So yeah, humble that guy, dash the boar. I was originally thinking of protecting this Octopus by putting the land here, but that boar top deck changed things. This lets me be a little bit more aggressive. So I get to hit face with both of these. Don't really care so much also with this guy because he's got to build a land to clear that off, so it's a little bit of a struggle for him. And I've got lethal set up, so his one win could have been 3, 4, 5, 10. Like he needed Horsemaster Flameburst, but he's used 2 Horsemaster, like I said, and I think he's used 1 Flameburst. Oh, true, Deku. Yeah, actually, I watched this back and actually saw that myself as well. Why are you up? Yeah, the tower should be here on the lake to block that Horsemaster line. Yeah. I thought of that too. When I watched this, I forgot about that. Yeah. Tower should block face, because I don't need the tower anymore anyways. And it just prevents any sort of lethal he could do, I think. Like, he's on 8 Faeria, 3, 4, 5. Maybe if he finds Horsemaster with that, hits in here. He has to build a land. 8. Yeah, I don't think it was even possible for him to find lethal if I had blocked it. Alright, so on to the finals with Elpaniko. Hellfire with godlike RNG. Maybe, but I don't think that list runs Hellfire. Okay, so I immediately ban his yellow because that's the spooky one for me, as I talked about earlier. He bans my beasts. So I'm gonna start with Krog again. It's a little bit awkward, actually, this sort of lineup. So my Copter list is kind of is okay at fighting green-blue, I feel, sometimes. Beastmaster is a little bit weaker fighting green-blue, but Beastmaster is really good at fighting red, so I want to save my Beastmaster list for this. This one's kind of swarmy. So yeah, I think I just... Or it looks swarmy. I don't know what it is, but it looks swarmy. So I start with Krog, save my Copter list for the potentially swarmy list. Was possible with command... Oh, command. Right. Yeah, I could command. That's true. Okay. There was an out then. Get rid of the expensive stuff. Keep red. Oh no, I just get rid of all of it. So this list, I had no idea what it was. No idea what was coming. Make a bit of an awkward land placement here. I think it's here. Yeah, so I put the Red Devil here, which doesn't do anything. I mean, this only threatens the double collection, but I knew that he was playing a whole bunch of lands, so he wanted to build these special lands. I don't know what this did. My thinking here was to contest the well collections, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. I get to drop Krog here at least. Krog here is nice. So we get a free hit on that water Ellie. I think, should I have played the Ogre Dance there first? Oh, I couldn't. Never mind. Now we can sack his elemental in this into the 6-4. Oh, that's true. We could have just done that, yeah. That might have been good for him. If he just hit into the 6-4. Play the 3-4 backwards to contest the water Ellie. He's gonna run away, but that's okay. There's no point in... I mean, I guess there's a point. Could play... No, there's no point in playing the battler. I just step up the 6-4. This doesn't really do a whole lot. But again, here he can sack... Well, no, I have face hit now. Yeah. Yeah. You won your first match versus every opponent on ladder. So I thought I'd just play it as a funny suicide lead list. It was pretty exciting to see. Apparently this is like, this was banned at some point, this interaction. That's what they were saying on stream. But I had no idea about it. Didn't get bio. That's sad. Yeah, let's skip ahead. This is kind of a meme, but we'll see the meme. I got Baldurion off this game. And managed to corrupt it. So the hammer gives me a nice Leia clear. Where does it happen? Where does it happen? Somewhere here. No, before this. Alright. Okay, so this egg, Biomancer, and then Scourge Flame. Boom! Is Egg Scourge even good? Apparently he can move 3 times or something. That's what they were saying. There's like a bug with it, where if you like Egg into Scourge, you can like move him 3 times across the board. I don't know. The combo. And I saved this Ogre Battler earlier in the game, so thank God I did that. I get to taunt it. But yeah, Scourge was super exciting to see. It should be a feature at this point and not a bug. I mean, it's pretty impressive to pull that off. Egg plus Scourge. I guess it's not that difficult. You get like it's an 8 Faeria combo with Biomancer. The crowd went wild. You can get double Scourge Flame at opponent's face. Turn 4 if things line up perfectly. I mean, I guess it's like reasonable to get off, but then it's only 1 Scourge Flame. That does 5 damage to face, but it, like if they're not prepared for it, if they're not... Yeah, I don't know. If you hit the God Hand, then yes. Yeah. So I decided to panic Meteor here to stop his sort of oh, I had a wait, there was a winning line here that somebody pointed out actually in the stream. So wait, here oh, I always had to hit first to get the Meteor discount. Oh, right, this is what I could have done. I could have hit in, get the Meteor discount, hit in with the Ogre Battler, Meteor his face, and then I still have my power wheel, I can double neutral, hit. Oh, that's not quite lethal. Never mind. Wait, yeah, too short of lethal. Oh, never mind. I thought there was a lethal there. Yeah, because I had to clear the structure. If there was no taunt, I had a lethal for sure. But yeah. It's an interesting line to think about, though. Meteoring the face and all of your creatures to try and get the poke hit. Yeah, but there was... Oh, sorry. Yeah, he would have been at 6. Never mind. That was a lethal. Yeah. For some reason, I was like... I hit 10 into face, he's at 2. Yeah, no. So you hit with Ogre first, he's on 6 life. Meteor his face. And then, yeah, he's on 6 life, you can hit for 10. Yeah, there was a lethal there. Okay. Yeah, I could hit with the Battler. Yeah, there was a lethal, but... he's on 2 lines, so we win anyways. Misleading the Faeria community with mislethals. We got there, don't you worry. Alright, so he's playing green-blue now. Let's go ahead. He had a very spooky octopus, this one. There's not a lot to talk about this one, I think. Oh, I did a kind of weird play here. I played this guy first to get my dance off. Which I don't think was super worth it. I don't know. Like, the fact that it hits Krog kind of sucks. Amazed how you lost this. Didn't get a single enchant in both games. Oh, yikes. Yeah, this next game was pretty odd because you weren't running Wisdom. So that guy's a little spooky. I wonder if I should have protected my guy. That's probably not worth it. Like, step back. Put the red devil here in case of... He found the shifting tide, which is what cleared my guy. That's never happened before. Yeah, so shifting tide. And then a free clear. Because like if I put the... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was worth it to protect the guy. I should have just not played it in the end. But... Now I just go Krog face. Which is... It also kind of sucks that I played the Explore here because he gets to hop on my land and then I don't have a taunt spot. So that's a little bit awkward too, how I kind of set up my lands and such. Double buff though? That's a mighty spooky. King Ogre versus King Yak. Oh yeah, this is the King Yak. I should have changed my avatar. Get Baron. I don't know what I was hoping for there. I guess I just have to hope for something. Wait, I should have drawn here. What was I doing? I should have tried to draw. Oh wait, draw doesn't do anything. I don't know. This was just super awkward with the opening play that I made, I think. I dropped the side mountain for a future taunt. And I didn't want to invest into a +1 or draw this turn, I guess. But I knew I needed a 5th mountain. I don't know. Played a little poorly. And then I get the Krog's Dinner off of the Baron, so that's not going to help. I do top deck Battler here. And then I go for a super risky play. I play the Bold Bargainer in hopes that it hits the Battler. I have no idea why I did this. Like, that could have... I had the Battler answer in hand, and then I decided to go for the risky Bargainer. But anyways. That was such a dumb play. But hacked anyways. Hacks. This is Bradbury again? Alright, have fun, Media Boy. Thanks for stopping by. Literally throwing for content. He found the movement trick anyways, but... Just like I did with cheese. Oh no. Sometimes, I don't know what goes on. Sometimes... we just make poor plays for no reason at all. Lost the first one versus Red, yes. With the Egg of Wonders meme. Yeah. Yeah, so I go for my Copter list. Wait, so... yeah, I wanted to make sure that I saved my Beastmaster for the red. So I knew that Beastmaster vs. red is like almost an auto win. So I needed to at least try with the Copter list on this one. And then, like, if Beastmaster loses to this, I'd probably lose the series anyways. So I needed to try with the Copter list first. If he played Mountain Bottom Right Orb, then he could have blocked his land. Double neutral. Ah, that's true. That's true. I could have... But couldn't he have just moved my Ogre away with the Shifting Tide instead? I think there was open land for it. One of those games against this Husk where you won turn 4 or 5. And then kind of... Yeah, sometimes you're like winning super hard and you turn your brain off. And then realize, oh, wait. I'm playing against someone good. He can come back here. I think... Yeah, there was an open land space here. So if I put the mountain here, he could have still moved the Ogre away. I don't... Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, I start side here. Why do I start side? I guess because I think he's kind of like jump sort of things with the octopus. I didn't actually expect to see fairies. I thought he was just green-blue beasts or something. Although he had Biomancer, I saw last game. But, I don't know. I think it was damped. Yeah, I'd need 3 lands. Yeah. Okay, so here I've got a few options. There's Cypher in hand. Pretty much I'm debating between Cypher and Bloated Toad, I think, but Bloated Toad doesn't contest a lot. It doesn't really do anything. So I drop Cypher. I think I'm just deciding which spot to put him in. So this gives him a Shifting Tide line, but I felt that I just needed to play into it because he needs 2 buffs to kill this, at least. I mean, he could have found Enchant also, but... this also stops him from collecting, I guess. The 3/5? Oh, the Jumper? The Jumper was excellent, I think. You get free uncontested double collection. This one was a bit weird, yeah. Yeah, this one doesn't really stop much. Unless I stepped up the Cypher, but I mean, I'm not going to step up Cypher into that. So I dropped the Bloated Toad here, just gives me some answers to deal with some stuff. Like if he decides to go face with this, I guess, then I can hop over clear and then value hit with Brigand. It's just Cypher plus Tower. Yeah, I guess if Tower...
I'm so smart, I astound myself.
That's true. You'd need some extra stats, though, to deal with it. So he pre-Shamanic Dances this guy, which is, like, normally a good play, but, like... I actually have a volley in hand, which is super sick. So I kind of get to kill that for free before it flips. That's like so unusual to see. Very brutal, yeah. Didn't know you were anti-flyers. So I had the option to humbling that, but Flame Burst is a lot better, I think. Considering the last game where he just found a whole bunch of buffs, and he's probably running enchants and things, Humbling's really nice to save for the future. I think my draws were kind of brutal this game, actually. There was a couple draws that were pretty intense. These 3/5s are doing nothing. I think this one was a little bit awkward. This one seemed okay for the double collection, but... Step forward that guy just to get him closer to face. I think somebody in the VOD, or in the casting suggested I step the Brigand across to kind of contest this octopus if he stepped over. But I think I like him staying here because he just gets value traded if I step him up. And like with this, I get to hit in with the toad and then hit the frog that spawns and get my Brigand to survive. Elpaniko lost right side collection for double on left. I guess this... I mean, he could have reinforced the right side, but then, like, Cypher is kind of spooky. That 7-11 is awesome with that Humbling Vision in hand now. I do need a little something extra if I want to actually kill it, but... Yeah, Cypher was a pretty big fear. Yeah. So I use the Shifting Tide to draw for something. Because I'm looking to... why? I guess I was just looking for some extra cleanup for that octopus. This is a really nice line here. So I gotta build that extra mountain. Yeah, build the extra mountain, hop over first, clear, step clear, and then I get a copter off, which is actually, like, I don't take away his collection, but it's actually relevant because of enchant. I get to take down his life stat a little bit. Humbling was, yeah, Humbling's huge. And now he's got this 1/1 that can't really be buffed that much unless he's got Aurora. Aurora would suck, but... Only running 4 color lands. Oh, okay. I think like Cypher was a super lucky early game for me too. Like I got some lucky land mobility clears. Yeah, Cypher's just pretty huge. So he's searching for stuff. Drops the fairy, blocks my thing, so I'm just drawing for the lethal here. Oh, I don't... No way I find lethal there. I decided to keep my copter there on the ocean spot instead of stepping. I don't know why. I guess I was trying to like bait him to fly up and trade. Yeah, just drop some aggressive stuff. That's... Yeah, it was pretty difficult for Elpaniko here. He's only on 5 Faeria. With a little bit more Faeria, he might have had a better chance because of like Shifting Tide and enchant shenanigans, but 5 Faeria is a bit tough to come back on. Still don't think racing is good. Really? Because this list, I don't think I can deal with this list once it gets going. Like, he just gets a massive creature, and then I just don't have answers to it. I have to Humbling's my only answer, and if it's too big, then I'm gonna need like 2 Humblings to deal with it. Then you humble it? Yeah, but like, I don't know, my stats aren't that tough. I mean, strong. Oh, for Elpaniko. Fair. 18 cards in and no enchant, that's so sad. That's really sad. This would have been a pretty big... I mean, not in this moment, but earlier it would have been pretty big. Top deck volley, which means I've got a lethal clear. I just have to time it right, or order it right, I mean. And there's the clear. So that was the one matchup that I was super concerned with. I needed to win that one, or else this series was going to be super difficult. Because Beastmaster was going to struggle there, I think. But now I'm really confident because I've got that Beastmaster backup. I have the Triton Chef early collector. So this is just a ordinary red. There's 2 mono red lists this tournament. How about that? I was actually considering bringing mono red myself. The rest just plays out like you would expect it to be. Yeah. Cypher's a little bit awkward there. Oh, I have the copter. So this is a little bit expensive. Kind of a cool play, but so I shifting tide up mountain, so that I get the copter to hit both of these, and then use the bank. Oh, I have to hit first to get the Faeria. I need to play copter and everything, but then I actually get to clear the cipher and have a reasonable trade onto that 4-2. But then I think he finds Firestorm here. Oh, never mind. Oh, maybe it was Ground Shaker. Yeah, Ground Shaker's huge there. Because now I just can't come back, really. I mean, any sort of removal option kind of just won him there. You did Krog. I did. Yeah, Krog. Oops. Krog's a list that I was never that great at, but managed to get some wins there. Yeah, I decided to go for that play because I thought it was going to be my only opportunity to kill the Cypher, especially with like Horse Masters in his list. I didn't think I was going to have another opportunity like that. 4-1s don't have a great time against red, that's true. And he's got a second Ground Shaker, so yeah, this one's tough. I mean, there's not a lot I can do against this one. I mean, there is Sirocco. Sirocco's pretty big. I don't have enough stuff to play it just yet. Debating playing the Bloated Toad, because I do have Gary. But if he finds answers to both the Toad and the 2-2, then I'm kind of just dead. I don't know, I feel like I should have just played the Toad. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Gary's not that big, actually. Because Gary doesn't actually kill anything else. Yeah, I guess Gary doesn't really do much here. I want to get the Sirocco out as soon as possible. So I just pass. No sense in feeding him toads. And then this was also mentioned in the recording, but I think Summer was saying that he'd like to see the Sirocco here, which I agree with. I decided to put the Sirocco more defensively. And I can play the Bloated Toad here now because I've got a nice easy cleanup with Sirocco with the 2-2. So I put it here because I was afraid of Horse Master, right? But this is still in Horse Master range anyways. He's got a lot of cards in hand. He could easily find an answer to this plus Horse Master plus answer to that or something. So I think Sirocco should definitely be on this mountain. So he's just in a more aggressive spot, can contest this, and then like if there's Horse Master, I'm already in a losing position anyways, but If there's no Horse Master, I'm in a better position. He puts this mountain here to block my land movement, which is pretty smart. This prevents me from land moving over and clearing both of these guys. But yeah, like if Sirocco was here, this would have been pretty huge, because he didn't have the Horse Master there, I guess. I also think that I should hit my 2-2 in here, just to get that extra Faeria, because this is so easily killed. I mean, I guess my line is okay. I step onto the mountain. But this play is quite... Oh wait, what did I do? Oh, I flame bursted that, okay. Maybe not jump at all here was better. Not jump at all? Yeah, I bursted. And then I'm gonna play the Bloated Toad. Oh wait, what? Why didn't I play Bloated Toad? That seems like a good toad. Was I saved? Wait. I definitely should have played the Bloated Toad there. I guess I was... Yeah, why didn't I play that? I have no idea. That would have been, like, the best time to play the toad. Alright, well I find 2 toads now. And then I decide to play both of them. Would have blocked the jump if it trades. Would have blocked the jump. Oh, maybe I was thinking like if the Ground Shaker steps up, then I'm not able to... But I want him to step up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was probably tired at this point because this is the finals, so it's been a long, grueling day so far. And you have so much Faeria to work with here, so yeah. Third Ground Shaker. Actually, that was a really expensive clear, but didn't need to be super efficient. You had so much. Oh, okay, there's a Cypher's Wrath too. Yeah, so now I've just got the Bloated Toad and a Garrotin, which is awkward. And pretty much lose from there. I decided to hold out on the Gary for a little bit and hope for more value, but I don't find it, and then it's too late. And then, I don't know, this match is kind of like, we'll go through it quick, because I think it's green versus red is kind of expected. If I collected with Ground Shaker. Yeah, I guess so, but I kind of wanted the Ground Shaker to step up in range, so it's weird, I guess. You need old 3 AoE Gary. Yeah. My hand is a little bit light on power, though. It's all, like, life stats. I pre-command here to allow myself to collect reasonably. And that turn on, I was like, why don't I just forfeit? Oh no. Is it perhaps by playing creatures and casting Yawn? Casting Yawn? Top deck the Grove Guardian, so I mean, that's a really easy... Oh. And then yeah. So that's kind of difficult to break through now. The Oakling buff. So just, like, mono red just can't deal with big stats like that. They have got, like, Bomb Slinger and such, but it's pretty challenging. I like this line where I just kind of hit into the boss. Instead of keeping my boar, like, instead of value hitting, I get to completely lock down his collections, which I think is pretty great. Although I could just put the extra Grove Guardian here in case of like Bomb Slinger, collect, then I've got something else to sort of contest with, but anyways. Oh, I have Voice of Truth, right, to just save his life stat. I guess that's fair. And then I'm roping, and then the second Willow, we're just going to ignore that that exists. Just pretend that's not there, because that's just so terrible. He plays Ground Shaker, so he gets to, like, value hit these things, like, take their life down a little bit. I think here I just clear the Ground Shaker with what I have, and then, yeah, and then Boar Dash, Grove Guardian to once again lock down that 1/4, and then start marching this pointless Willow up towards the left. Too scared of your mighty 1/4. I have to play everything. Like any of it matters. Yeah, true. 3 Bomb Slingers and praying your opponent does a misplay. Bricks 3 feeds. Yeah, that's the only way to win, really. This is like the tutorial match. Yeah, this is what we used to see back in the day. Green versus red matchups. I don't think there's much more to talk about here. Yeah, just get big stuff. Alright. Okay, so that's it. That's the Ruunin Open. Came first place. Beastmaster does it again, apparently. And no husks. There was so little husks in this tournament. I was so happy with that. But thanks for watching, YouTube people. I'll see you guys next time.